Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also please give your valuable comments. And you can also make use of the playlist. In the playlist, I have provided almost all the topics in a very systematic order. And for the continuous study, it is quite easy. Anyway, so we will continue with the dosha analysis in the present day practice, clinically especially. So today we will see about the production of the doshas. Now vata, pitta and kapha should be always there inside the body in a balance, and their samasthiti itself is called as homeostasis or equilibrium, and that is required to maintain the equilibrium. Now the important thing is vata, pitta and kapha imbalance need not to be fixed in nature in each and every individual, and their balance is also need not to be fixed in nature. For example, when I say balance of the doshas, means it is not 33% vata, 33% pitta, 33% kapha, totally 99.99%. It's not like that. Okay, we need to understand this point very clearly. That means for the given condition, the balance will be different. Okay, sometimes vata may be 50 and the pitta and kapha may be 25, or sometimes vice versa. Okay, so vata, pitta and kapha imbalance need not to be fixed in nature at each and every individual, each and every situation, and even in each and every individual also, this need not be fixed. But anyway, the thing is, these three doshas, however, they always maintain the equilibrium of the body. Okay, they will maintain the normal physiological functions of the body. Okay, so it does not mean that the proportion, structural or functional aspects of these doshas need to be equal, like 33, 33, 33. It's not like that. Okay, so Charaka says in Grahani Adhyaya, says that Vatadi doshas are originated from the ahara when it undergoes the digestion. The question is the production of the doshas. In that we have covered the balance and imbalance. So see, these are some of the very important things that we have to understand, because always the doshas are not present in equal amount. It's not like that, because amount itself is not mentioned for the doshas properly. Okay, so therefore question is, they are working together, they are there, all the three doshas are existing there, they are working together. Anyway, a balance will be maintained. Okay, the proportion may be different and different, a different situation and different individual. Now Charaka says, Grahani Adhyaya, Vatadi doshas are actually produced from the ahara which is taken. And when this ahara undergoes the digestion, there is production of the doshas. Now the big question is there, how the doshas are produced. That is from the ahara. The food contains all the 6 rasas. We know that. The food which we consume, that contains all the 6 rasas. So all the Panchamahabhutas are also there. That means each rasa is made up of 2 Panchamahabhutas, isn't it? So if you are consuming all the 6 rasas in your diet, that means you are taking almost all 6 into 2, 12 Panchamahabhutas. 12 Panchamahabhutas in the sense, 12 times I am telling, because the Prithvi Mahabhuta is also there in Madhur Rasa, it is also there in some other Rasa also. That means totally there will not be any lacking of any of the Mahabhutas. Mahabhutas will be there in excess. Okay, required amount. So food contains all the 6 rasas, so all the Pancha Mahabhutas will be there, and formation of the dosha takes place as it undergoes the process of digestion and metabolism. Now, like in the first stage, there is a digestion of the Madhura Ahara, Panchamahabhuta substance which contains more Madhura Ahara. So it leads to the formation of the kapha. So if you look into the Avasthapaka, it is very clearly told that Madhura Avasthapaka. So during the Madhura Avasthapaka, there is formation of the kapha. Similarly, during the Amla Avasthapaka, there is formation of the Pitta, and during the Katu Avasthapaka, there is formation of the Vata. So this is very clear. So therefore, when external food, Panchamahabhutika food from the nature, when you consume, when it enters inside, when it undergoes digestion process or metabolism process, then there is a production of the doshas. Pitta machhamudiryate, vayu syat katubhavataha. Okay, so like this, when actually these doshas are produced inside the body from these aharas, very clearly mentioned. It is during the avasthapaka. So same rule is also applied in the cellular metabolism also. Okay, so when a metabolism takes place inside the cell, also there is production of the vata, pitta and kapha at the cellular level. In the avasthapaka, there may be production of the vata, pitta, kapha at the digestion level, digestive system level. Similarly, when the same it undergoes the cellular metabolism, Dhatu, Agni, Paka and all those things. So there is production of the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So when the glucose, for example, when the glucose undergoes the metabolism, now we are talking about cellular metabolism. Previously we have talked about the Avastha Bhaga, like just carbohydrate, protein. Carbohydrates get divided into the monocarbohydrates, monosaccharides, disaccharides, trisaccharides. Okay, proteins are divided into proteins and peptones, and fat is divided into emulsification. So this is actually what is happening in the Avastha Bhaga. But when you talk about cellular metabolism, suppose if you take the glucose, so glucose which enter into the blood. Now what happens to this glucose when it enter inside the cell? It breakdown of the glucose takes place. It's called as glycolytic pathway. So breakdown of the glucose. So initially there is Vata production, then there will be intracellular enzymatic activities takes place, and at the end there is formation of some of the end products. So again Vata, Pitta and Kapha is formed. Okay, so like this, and there is formation of the end product in the form of the Kapha. So similar such changes can be appreciated at the DNA level also. That's a still deeper level discussion. Now another important point that we have to discuss is doshas and as well as prakriti. What is the relationship between dosha and as well as prakriti? Doshas can be called as under prakrita stage at the time of Shukra Shonita Sanyoga. If there is no vitiation of the Shukra and Shonita at this stage, the primary and secondary gametogenesis or meiosis, etc. Now, what do you mean by prakriti? When I say prakriti, doshas can be called as normal. Usually, doshas are considered as normal at the time of Shukra Shonita Sanyoga. If the doshas are present in the normal stage at the time of Shukra Shonita Sanyoga, then it leads to production of the normal prakriti. And if there is any vitiation during this time also, then it may lead to some of the problems. So if there is no vitiation of the Shukra and Shonita at this stage, everything will be fine. Primary and secondary meiosis, gametogenesis, etc. But later onwards, due to the consumption of the ahara vihara of the pregnant lady, these doshas can be vitiated. Usually, how the prakriti is formed, then the classics say that Shuddha, that means doshas are present in the normal stage at the time of the formation of the Shukra Shonita Sanyoga. Okay, so they will go into lead to the formation of the prakriti. But this prakriti can undergo vitiation, can be disturbed by the food which is consumed by the mother during the pregnant stage. Okay, pregnant lady. So at this stage, there is also formation of the prakriti, which is of 7 types depending upon the dosha dominance. Shukra Shonita dosha bhaved utkataha. Okay, so during the time of the Shukra Shonita Sanyoga, what is the situation of this, or what is the level of this doshas? Okay, doshas present in the Shukra and doshas present in the Shonita. Depending upon that, the prakriti will be formed. Depending on the dominancy of the doshas at that time, different types of the prakritis are formed. We have got 7 prakritis. Okay. Now, since they sustain the body, they are also called as a Shakti Rupa Dravyas. Now, prakriti is also going to sustain the body. Doshas also sustain the body. So, therefore, also they are called as Shakti Rupa Dravyas. It never changes, but in later stages, it may be a causative factor for some of the pathogenesis. So, they remain unchanged and constant. Any attempt to change may lead to troubles and even to the death. So this is explained in the classics. So they occupy the entire living body, and by their proportion they are responsible for expression of the particular phenotype. Now talking about doshas during the embryonic stage. Now during the embryonic stage, we have got 3 important layers. One is ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, isn't it? So we can say, just for the understanding purpose, the outermost layer, that is ectoderm, and the innermost layer, that is endoderm, and in between the gap, so that is usually called as mesoderm. Now if you look into the explanation given by the classics, okay, now we have got different types of bhavas, matraja bhava, pitraja bhava, atmaja bhava, etc. Okay, now If you look into the Pitraja Bhava, the organs which are derived from the Pitraja Bhava, so most 99% of the organs which are explained there, or avayavas, which is mentioned in the classics, so they are of ectodermal origin. What modern science says, the ectodermal origin, like the bones, cartilages, tissues, then the hair, then the hard structures of the body, then so many sira, kandara, etc. So they're all actually Pitraja Bhava, and 99% of the same will match us with the ectodermal derivatives. Okay, outermost one. Outermost area of the body is also the seat of the Vata. We know that the skin is the seat of the Vata. Okay, and ectodermal layer is also the outermost layer. Similarly, when you look into the endodermal layer, 99% of the organs which is mentioned as the endodermal derivatives are matches with the Matraja Bhavas which is mentioned in our classics. Okay, there most of them are inner structures, so many body structures, organs, etc. Okay, so which is the innermost area of the body is also the seat of the kapha. Now talking about the mesoderm, modern science says that, embryology says that connecting tissues, fluid, blood, etc. and the media where the metabolism takes place, so they are all nothing but the mesoderm. Okay, that's the area, and one which is derived from that particular part is called as mesodermal derivatives. Now this portion, mesodermal derivatives, mostly it matches with what we say, the rasaja bhavas. Okay, matraja, pitraja and rasaja bhavas, to some extent the satmeja bhavas. Okay, the satmeja and the rasaja bhava, which is also the seat of pitta, because they say that in the mesodermal derivatives, actually that portion where actually metabolism takes place. Okay, different intracellular enzymes, hormones and all those things. So these are the three important ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm which can be compared. Okay, and if you look into the structure, now two things are remaining. One is Sattvaja Bhava and Atmaja Bhava. Okay, Satmaja Bhava is nothing but the environmental factors. Okay, it is the effect of the environmental factors on the development. Rasaja Bhava is nutritional factors. And these two are considered actually under the heading of the mesoderm. Okay, mesodermal derivative structures. Now, skeletal dysplasia, it is a problem related to the ectodermal derivation. If there is any problem, genetic problem in ectodermal derivation, the organs which need to be developed from the ectoderm is not developed. It leads to a condition called as ectodermal dysplasia, where skin is not properly formed, the skeletal muscles, skeletal bones are not properly formed, teeth are not formed, like cartilages deficiency will be there, so many things will be there. So that is skeletal dysplasia. Okay, so now this is how Shukra Shonita Samyoge Yadbhave Dosha Utkataha. That means the dominance of the doshas at the time of the Shukra Shonita Sanyoga, which is responsible for the future Prakriti, okay, which is responsible for the future formation of this ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm, when it gets affected, it may lead to so many problems. Okay. Now, in the next class onwards, we'll go with the dosha lakshanas. Thank you very much.